orders. I'm sorry. Doing okay? Good.
Sorry, sir. Really can't let you through here. I've got strict orders. What?
Everybody stay put. I'll take a look.
Okay, gotcha. Understood.
Huh. Okay. What? Hey. Hey.
How you doing?
Hiya. Really? Oh, huh. Wow. Oh.
Whoa.
Hmm?
Ah.
Oh.
Nice day for it, isn't it?
Hey,
Check it out. Roger.
Huh. Hello
This
there.
is 100% Egyptian cotton.
What? Yeah. Weird.
Not right now, please.
Huh? Huh. I didn't like the sound of that.
What?
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
lovely ladies here tonight. Not the same crowd as classical concerts. I'm probably old enough to be their father, though.
Sounds like you have the right idea to me, man.
I like you, but maybe you should grow some balls and not be such a yes man. This is Montgomery. Is everyone in position?
Hey! What was that? This is so annoying. No, no!
Please help me.
Artful
Hello
Jamie
there.
just redeemed applause.
Wow.
Stand back, please. I will investigate.
No problem.
Okay. Wait here. If you hear gunshots, run like crazy.
Okay, I hear you.
Hello? There we go. Ah, updates, man. They messed with stuff. Can you hear me now? It's been well, okay. So again, welcome, man. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And yeah, we were practically melting over here because it's like 36, 37 degrees outside, so that's high 90s for my American friends. It's whew, sweaty weather. Luckily I have air conditioning. Game modes, contracts. Will it be in my history? Maybe, possibly. Yeah, because I finished it once already. Okay, let's try that again. over here. Okay, so do I try to get in quick? No, because the dude will go away. Maybe, oh, maybe I can just knock them out. That could be a thing, but I would have to get a... Oh, I can get the wrench outside the DJ box. I have something to knock people with. Then bonk the one over the head with it, and then stab the other one while he's panicking. And put them both in a box. Let's see if that works. Oh, I can't pacify anybody. Okay. Need to turn this down a bit. It's a bit loud in my ears. Okay. So no pacifications. Okay. That's annoying. Oh, maybe I can go do the other one first. Since by then the other dude will be gone. Work my way backwards from there. This one first. Now he's on his way back. Oh, perfect. Perfect. So let's get you over here.
What the heck was that?
Get this here.
You heard it. Check it. I get it.
Please help me. Anybody.
There we go. 21 C in England today? Oh, nice, man. It was 30 C yesterday, but I can't wait for the winter weather. Yeah, yesterday it was also like 34 over here. Today it's even hotter. It's 36. Let's see what this one says. My aircon unit outside says 34 and a half. Okay. 34. So okay, so I guess it's 34 now. It's gone down a bit, but when I got back from the office, my motorcycle said it was like 37 or something. It was not fun on the... It's so hot. 147! Okay, I win. I don't care what time anybody else has. I win. This is an Argus time. Nice. I think I'm the only one. Global, maybe not. Oh, Pucha's in 407. Okay. Nice. I'll take it. Exit. Okay. Let's see what we have. Is there another one? Oh, right. You have one. Cool. James Bond puzzle on Epic. Nice. We'll take that. Very good. Oh, crap. I am messing up the order of my windows. There we go. It was already good. Good. Contracts. Let's see. Contract ID. James Bond puzzle number 3. Okay, for OG James. Enjoy. Okay. Oh, that's Emma. Okay. That's the accountant. Barber razor. That's upstairs in the bathroom. If this is the guy, no, this is the one in the hallway, I think. So this might be the girl that's smooching upstairs. So I'm going to start here. Okay. Barber razor. I might bring a proximity taste for him, yes. Distractions, coins, and smuggle something into the library. I don't know if I'll need it, but yeah. Let's go. Oh, Emma Carlisle was walking up and down in the big room, right? I can get her with the chandelier. Okay. Mr. Ford in that secret room. Yeah. He's the accountant. I know how to get there. Yes, okay, it is her. Okay, cool.
So, how long?
So I think there's a razor in this room over here. Yes. Yo, break it up.
All right, later.
Annabelle.
I bet he's stringing all the girls along like that anyway.
Okay. Put you in the box. Go. Put that away. There's my secret.
Why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's unruly. That's what it is.
Hello there.
This is a restricted area and I can't let you through. You gotta move on.
She's not fit to be in.
What are you doing? Oh, you're that dude. Okay. We can do that. What is your throne weapon? Barber razor. Surprise, motherfucker. Let's get you a little bit out of the way so that the other Carlisle doesn't see you. Good. Now we can get in here. Get you out of the way.
Aaron Ford Jr. calling from Morgan Yates and Cone. I need to get a listing of
no
asset
specifications.
transfers from the Carlisle
Okay.
account HTC depot number 5085.
Let's pretend that worked out. Where's the other one? Downstairs. Where are they? Sitting room, yes, of course. So she's in here.
Can't you just relax for a minute?
And that solicitor upstairs. Wait, what?
I can get her like this.
What's that?
Boop. And then... Oh.
Come on. We're cool.
Let's see what that deal is.
Looks like some kind of accident, but I don't know yet.
Is that the dude the guy that's smoking? Oh, it's him. Okay. I need a better gun for that. Okay, So I could possibly snipe him from here. That leaves me replanning. Okay. Instead of the proxy taser... Oh, I could give him the proxy taser while I run for the exit. But do I want to go over all the way over there? Let's take a baller. And then... Do not take this, but take poison. Lethal syringe, yes. Finally got it. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much, Panda, for the 11 bits.
cheered. 11 bitties. Thank you, heart.
I don't want to go all the way upstairs, from down below, upstairs and back again. So... Oh, I need to get that razor, right. Okay. Lurking while watching Dynamite from Wednesday. Okay, thank you so much for the lurk, man. And I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Going that way, yes. Let's go through the outside. That's my best bet, I think. Find that hanging and moving like this is faster than walking over the edge. Thrown weapon. Okay. Grab him, please. Why does that take so long? Okay. Go here, go here.
Hi there. Is my shift over already?
Oh God, what's going on?
Ford
Get
Jr.
you
calling from
over
Morgan
here.
Yates and Cone. I need to get a listing of asset transfers from the Carlisle account.
Okay.
Hey, you break it, you buy it.
Okay. And then need to get Miss Carlisle over here. Oh, lady, go check that out.
Hey, I need help, please.
Oh, bugger. Shit. It shot through the table and hit the floor, and because it's a glass table, that I hear the shatter. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. Okay. Anyway, let's get that.
So, how long have you been working here?
About a month now.
You're American. What on earth are you doing this shit? I feel like you belong to clubs in London.
I have to throw up.
Okay.
No!
Oh,
Yeah, it's your breath, dude. She can't handle your breath. Sorry about that. I don't know what to say. Maybe need some Tic Tacs. Okay. Oh, he doesn't like me. Oh, we need to go here anyway. There we go. Oh. Faster. Especially around corners, this is much faster. There we go. Yes. Disguise. Alright. Alright.
Aaron Ford Jr. calling from Morgan Yates and Cone.
Oh, this isn't good.
to get a listing
Oh,
of asset
I don't think this
transfers
is
from
good
the
at
Carlisle
all.
account HTC depot number 5.
Uh-huh.
The hell was that noise?
Okay. Where was our other victim? Over there. Yes. Oh, wrong door. Need to go here.
Huh? What?
Is that command? Yeah, it looks like an accident.
There we go. Now I need to get down quickly. Over here.
What?
Sorry. Let's see which one is closest. That one, I guess. No, this one. Bum 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 bum.
Mary is so upset. She's never seen a dead
Mary is so upset.
Alexa, back from the dead. And make believe a murder.
There we go. Done. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. That's a fun one. Yeah. Very nice. How am I doing? Number 2 on my friends list. What? I'm not number 1 with that strategy. Manga in 2:38. How is he doing 30 seconds faster? Oh, I could. Okay. Thank you, Panda. Thank you, thank you.
Applause.
We plan the mission. Yes. Okay. So what if I do not use coins, but if I take another lethal thing? Let's see. Poisons. ICAs. Lethal syringe. Okay. Play. So basically, how fast can I get out, right? I don't need this.
So,
Oh, I do need the seeker, I think. For the, because I cannot knock the dude out. Let's take that. The syringe. You, break it up.
how long have you been working here?
About a month. Interesting story.
So I think,
Put a pin in it. Yeah.
yeah, what you said.
Sorry.
Turn around, please. Okay. Okay. You're playing any featured contracts? I did all the featured contracts already, Jamie. So I'm done with them. There's no real need for me to do that anymore. Oh, I forgot the razor. Crap. Okay, and there we go.
So, how long have you been working here?
About a month now.
You're American.
Let me through. Oh, I have just a little bit of sick in my mouth. Oh, what's gonna come?
Local cuisine working out for you?
There we go. Wish there was a faster way to get to him. Why do I... How do I control which side of the window I get out of? That would be nice if I knew that. think it has to do with your the angle you're looking at before you exit. Okay.
Aaron Ford Jr. calling from Morgan Yates and Cone. I need to get a listing.
Come on. I may have been poisoned. I need to.
Okay.
Listen, Gregory. Something's off. Pruitt got word from the... Wait, what? We all signed the bloody thing 4 days ago.
Oh, dear God, not this again.
So I got told... Oh my God!
Okay. I need to get out fast. Go, please. Can I beat it? Can I get out in time? Can I exit in time? Yes, I'm gonna get it. There we go. Ha. Let's see what the globals do. Lich Witch is in 101. That's not the correct time. This is the correct time. 2:38, 2:23 for me. James Bond in 1:59. So sub 2 minutes should be possible. Just wondering how. They have to get close to the maid because they have to separate. And you can't shoot anything on her. Maybe I can panic the dude so she runs away. Yeah, well. This is good. What was the name? James Bond's Puzzle. Okay. Maybe there's another one, unless you have another contract ID. I will see if I can find the others. Contracts. Search James Bond's contracts. Nothing. James Bond. James Bond Returns. Puzzles, circuit keys. I think maybe I can do my friends. No. What's the title again? So stupid. James Bond's Puzzle. Okay. Oh, oops. Contract search. James Bond's Puzzle. There we go. Number 7, number 3. They're all by James Bond, so. The Italian 47. Is that a contract name or is that a... Oops. Italian 47. Oof. No, it was just the one you spotted. Okay. Search. Okay. James Bond's Puzzle. Go. Okay, shall we start with number 1? Enjoy. Kurt Reinhardt, Harvey Van Etten, are they downstairs? She's doing the interviews, I guess. Benjamin Hunsucker, I don't know where he is. I am starting here. Just have a hunch. Give me a proxy taser. Yeah. Nee. I said over here. Okay. Let's see. Nah. I gambled correctly, but how the hell am I gonna get him?
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
That's right.
What?
Okay. Question is, how am I gonna get him?
What was that? Go over there and see what that was.
All right.
We're over here.
Whatever.
I have an idea.
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes down. She prefers to look over all of it.
Propane and propane accessories.
No. The only reason she'd come down here would be if the stock crashed. And then it would be the yellow handout termination.
Hey, have I seen you before? Who are you? Where did this asshole even come from?
Asshole, huh? Do you like your knees, huh? What about your knees, huh?
Damn.
Did you solve the exit on the Miami map? You remember the contract has no exit? I don't think so. No, I never figured out what was the exit, because we tried everything. Unless there is like an Easter egg exit I don't know about. But yeah, that is something. No, I never figured that out. Gonna give him this thing first. Because if I boom this, then
IT in there?
That's right. Yeah.
Then he's gonna panic. What's his deal? Okay. Oops.
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes down. She prefers to look over all of it.
I think I can get him like that.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Terrible accident.
What a terrible accident!
Are you one of the investment gurus here?
Should I know you?
Crap.
Canadian Ator just redeemed applause.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Maybe don't take a lockpick. Take a micro taser. Yeah, that should do the trick. Yoink.
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
That's right.
Oh.
Okay. Pom 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 pom.
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes down. She prefers to look over all of us in that watchtower.
Weird approach to leadership.
Wow. I wonder what that was. What a goddamn messy accident.
What a goddamn messy accident. Oh, let's not go here. We go here.
Jesus.
Okay. Who's next? Down there. Oh, I pacified somebody? Oh, shit.
Get out of our way.
Who's, oh, he's pacified.
You there? I strongly suggest you leave the vicinity ASAP.
Hey! Don't go around whacking people in the head like that, you hear me?
No way!
Hands over your head. Don't let him take
Help me! Help me! Fucking help me!
Maybe I can, like, throw it far more under his, yeah.
Weird approach to leadership.
Let's see if we can do this without blowing the other one up.
Hey. Wait a minute.
Fuck. That was not far enough, so the other lady saw that. Can I... No.
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes down. She prefers to look over all of us in that watchtower.
Weird approach to leadership.
What's going on? As fast as you can. We have a real bad accident over here. Hey!
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
That's right. Now what?
What do you think that noise was? Go have a look.
Aye, aye.
Get it?
Wait for him to pick that up.
What's going on over there? Right behind you.
Okay, where's the... Behind me upstairs.
Have you got any investment tips? I'm talking to you.
Bitch.
What? Keep your head down. You want to stay alive.
Man! Okay, sure.
We have a security breach. Just get out of our way, okay?
Let's go take a look at... Oh, it's him. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way.
Hey, look alive, buddy. Hey, you have to stop right now.
Why was he engaging me?
Fire at will! Copy. I got him! Help me!
You lost the man. Help! He's killing everyone. We gotta stop him.
Kidding!
Whoa! That was a shot. Fucking low. Stop.
Okay, and where's the last target? Downstairs in the teller ship. Okay. Would be handy to have a... Oh, there's a propane... no, okay. Yes, I know where there's another propane tank. That should not be a problem.
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes down. She prefers to look over all of them.
Weird approach to leadership.
Well, I heard that.
If I ever see her here, I should make myself clear.
Looks like an accident.
This looks like an accident.
Oh dear.
Fuck! It locked onto his head. Why? Why? Ah, good grief.
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes down.
Hey, what was that noise?
That was a noise of your end.
Oh, look, what a mess.
Okay. What a mess. What a goddamn mess.
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
That's right. You know how crap this old building.
Uh-huh.
Okay, where do they need to go? He's about to blow up. Staircase behind me. Oh, that's he's gonna die. Okay. So now I need to have another propane tank, and there's one. God damn it! I just had it in my head. Oh right, behind the lost and found, and there's one downstairs across the door from IT. So lost and found would be my best bet at the moment. So I need to get there, and the door is locked. I can get there from, guess lost and found is over here. And there's a propane tank right here. I need to get over there.
This does look good.
Third day, huh? How are you finding things here at the bank?
Oh, it's lovely.
Command, you read me. Over. Exercise extreme caution. Stuff is blowing up.
I don't know where that comes from.
I know it's futile, but really.
Can I get in here?
It's very important. I'll check again.
Okay.
How did they pull it off? Is there a big hole
Just drop by at least.
So, I'll see you down at O'Flanagan's tonight. It's gonna be a legend.
Have a nice day. What?
And then I have that asshole over there. They're panicking, okay. It's not a really big deal at the moment.
Setting up perimeter.
Okay, he's being dragged out. So I can go here.
I don't really feel comfortable with this.
It's just a job, you know? God,
No,
there's a lot of
Wayne.
people.
The job is to find and expose irregularities and signs of fraudulent behavior. Expose. I understand Athena Savalas pulls a lot of weight in the industry. Dying to see her.
Oh, he's going there.
Yes.
Oh, fuck you, man.
Take him down! Yeah, I got it. Oh, shit.
Command!
Okay, let's assume this worked.
I need you to keep your head down if you want to stay alive. I got it.
You have that guilty look, mister.
Dead people. Somebody slaughtered them.
There's trouble getting here.
Let's see where she... if I can get her. They're away. Where is the propane tank located? Can I get that from here? Where did I put the propane tank?
Have a security breach. Get out of our way, okay?
Should be where she's standing, right? Oh, right.
Oh my goodness.
Excuse me?
Hey,
Can
hey!
someone
And if
help
she's standing there, then I could do this. Okay.
Take point and move out.
Yeah, and that dude that's still alive is up there somewhere, or wherever. Okay.
Hello there.
Wonder if it's handier to start down there. Hey, Acid Tiger, welcome. Happy Friday. Good to see ya. How's it going? It's going well. I'm trying to figure out this puzzle contract.
down here recently?
She never
It's
goes
the
down.
puzzle contract. Every contract is a puzzle, so.
Hey. Wait a minute.
Doing well.
I wonder what that was.
How are you today? Everything goes the way you want it to.
What a terrible accident!
What a terrible accident.
Wow.
Okay.
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
That's right.
Oh?
Let's get up here.
Command, thought I heard something. Checking it out.
Okay.
Has anyone seen the
Turn
Jameson
this off.
419? It was here a minute ago. Damn it.
Can I get you to come in here, sir?
What was that?
Oh, but then he will find that. Crap. Standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down. What the hell do you want, man? If I give him something, let's boom that.
Now they're getting me off. Move out, people.
Okay.
Not a lot to do today.
Oh, I'm caught on camera.
Oh, she's finally firing that guy. And what? I heard that.
Bust. Okay. Okay.
Got some strange noises
here. Lost and found is on that side.
Roger, Command.
I can't remember where that thing leads to from the lost and found.
What a gentleman.
Oh,
Oh, Frank is here.
No, I think I saw him go into the bathrooms.
It's me. Yeah.
Oh, do not pacify. Did I pacify somebody? Oh, right. I pacified the dude upstairs. Crap. Crippity crap. I find it interesting just making a contract and then suddenly people play it in completely different ways you never thought about. Yeah, that's the cool thing. Well, you can, of course, restrict people in various ways, but yeah, if you give them a lot of freedom, you will see people solving this in a various amount of ways, and it's always cool to see. You see solutions you never thought of, you see ways to get somewhere you may not have known about. You'll discover new stuff on the map. It's so cool.
Like an accident.
Very, very cool. Okay, let's go there. Okay.
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What the?
And I just shoot.
What? I lost sight of suspect.
Oh, he sees that.
Oh God! Help! Please!
That's a bit of a bummer. Okay, I'm gonna take the outfit of the dude I am electrifying, taking his gun, giving it to the other dude, and then
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes
that should put him in a position where I can get him.
Wait a minute. I wonder what that was.
Okay.
Hold on. What an ass. What a goddamn.
A lot of yeah, the speedrun people, man, they are insane. That's. I've seen so many strats that I thought, what the hell is going on there?
Wow.
God damn it. Is
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes down. She prefers to look over all.
No.
I heard that.
wow. That was real marksmanship. Okay, so what if I do it like this?
Okay.
Excuse me, mister. You dropped something.
Ooh, perfect. Micro taser. Okay.
What the hell was that blast? Let's move in.
What the hell happened there? Why did that explode? Oh, I threw the proximity taser. That I did not want to do. Oh, crap. 100% accuracy, yes, exactly.
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
God damn it.
She never comes
Well,
down.
I know, now I do know it was in the perfect spot, but because it didn't, like, pacify anybody, right?
What was that noise?
What was that noise? Bang. First try, baby.
Like an accident.
You know,
Micro
the
taser,
thing is like
yes.
committing a crime against the entire planet. Oh, man.
Okay. Oh, what if I... Can I close this?
Plastic. in the
No.
ocean net?
That's a bit
So
of
are
a
we
shame.
just supposed to let anyone from IT
Remote
in
proxy
there?
That's
taser.
right. You know how crap this old building.
Oh. Huh?
Not the sort of thing you want to leave lying around.
Oh, somebody got knocked out again. Shit. How the hell did I do this before then without knocking anybody out?
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes down. She prefers to look over all.
I wonder what that was.
Okay. This needs to be very precise so that it doesn't knock that dude out. So I need it to be in far in the corner as possible. Oh, that should be perfect. Remote micro taser. Put it over there.
Hey. So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
Proximity taser.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know how
What?
Go see what that was.
That's up. Understood.
Okay. As soon as he gets electrified, I am going to blow this stuff up.
Okay. That makes no sense.
Man, you read me. Over. Something just blew up. I don't know what.
Okay. Oh, there's again the subdue. Oh, fuck. I hate that. Okay. Replan. Let's see. This is not going to work. Oops. This is where I need to go to get the top guy, so I might as well put it there. Second floor bathroom, I'm not really close to that. No, I'm gonna put it right here. So, I really hate to do this, but yeah. I can't seem to find a way to blow the dude up without... or... can I get close? I want to see if he knows me if I'm wearing a different suit.
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
That's right.
Uh-huh. Hey man, we have some weird noises. I'll have a look around.
Yeah, all these doors can be closed. That's a bit of a shame.
Why would you leave something like this behind?
How about now? Now he doesn't. So this means I could possibly put it all the way up here. Okay, let's try that.
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
She never comes down. She prefers to look over all from the watchtower of hers.
Weird approach to leadership.
Well,
Got him.
Terrible accident.
There's been a terrible accident.
For here, I should make myself disappear.
any update on the Anderson account?
But I'm not gonna tell you anything.
Find anything yet?
No.
But
Go, go, go.
Oh, he saw that, but that does work. Okay, so... oh, I have the proximity taser here, so that's good. Okay. So I'm gonna go get the dude first, get his outfit, so I can get close to the stockbroker dude, and then blow him up.
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT
Proxy
in there?
taser.
That's right.
Central, we got some nut job flinging all kinds of crap at me. Hold on.
Some nut job throwing all sorts of crap at me. Right, okay.
Say what?
Say what?
Not the sort of thing you want to leave lying around.
Excuse me, sir, I need your outfit. Okay. Cool. Now, get the propane tank. I don't have the thing for this one, right? No. Wait for him to actually move. Okay, so that timing also works out. That's nice. It's nice.
I was green back then, fresh out of school.
Wow.
Hey, pick that up.
Hey, pick that up.
Athena was our team leader, and she just
Surprise, motherfucker. There we go. Ooh, we got. Oh, now he doesn't like me. Fuck.
Possible intruder. Sweeping area. Over.
I don't remember where that ends. Okay.
Don't mind me.
Now we have that.
It is goddamn funny.
No.
Uh-huh.
Oi!
Okay.
Pick that up!
Frank the Run Ruiner. Okay. Why not? Okay. Avoid the cameras, maybe. You are coming here.
green back then, fresh out of school. I remember one time we'd been in a meeting with the managing director who expressed unhappiness with the system. He started yelling at us for not performing steps. Huh? Okay. You dropped something.
Okay. Oh.
Mr. Bodyguard. Hello.
God damn it.
Give him all you got.
Understood.
Oh, and I can't get in here. Oh, fuck.
Careful! He's in the corridor.
You will die!
Operator is targeting civilians.
That's it. Get him in your sight. Pull that trigger. God damn.
That's the perp. He's in the teller hall.
How the hell do they know that? Crap. This is not easy, man. Replan. Okay, so I have a seeker up there, which I can't actually get there. So that's not good. Second floor bathroom, that's where I'm getting past. So do I take a key card? Yeah, maybe I should take a key card. Okay. Okay.
Find anything yet?
No.
So are we just supposed to let anyone from
Proxy
IT in there?
taser.
That's right.
Oh.
The man. Some joke.
I did mention to the man that it would be more beneficial to shut down the bank and do a full sweep, but he said no. I guess.
Boom, 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 boom.
What idiot would drop this?
Surprise, motherfucker! Free X-ray day at the New York Bank. Oh, get my gun. Okay. Propane tank. Oh, he's just walked over here. Okay.
Have you seen Savalas down here recently?
Oh, I didn't pick up the key card.
She prefers
Yes.
to look over all of us from that watch
That is
tower.
in that bathroom over there. Waiting for him to cross. Okay. Now get close to him. Because he doesn't care, so that's good. Micro taser, okay. Oop, over here. I can't okay. Shall I change back into this? Because then
Chuck, wasn't it? Look,
I'm not
going for a ride.
suspect down there. Okay, okay, good, good, good. It should be in this bathroom, right? Wait, what? Level 3, so it's upstairs. What?
I need you to keep your head down if you want to stay alive. Okay, so you're saying that I should...
I was calm and focused. There is a guy in the bathroom puking his guts out with love.
Keep your eyes open. Here, I know it. Loud and clear.
What bathroom is... Where is it then? Oh, it's where Cokehead goes to sniff. Okay.
Over.
Oh, I was mistaken on where it was. Okay.
Oh, Christ. Hello? Can you hear me? Are you okay?
Squad, you're looking very low key. I need energy here. You need to be.
Oh man.
Anyone, I need some help.
Pick up the key card. Okay.
Hey, you! Something terrible is happening. Hey, I need some help here.
Hey, what's the situation? You look freaked out.
Crap.
I just seen an accident. I don't know what.
I missed again.
I feel like giving that woman a piece of my mind. I
Wasn't
gave
there-
this place everything.
No. Crap.
Whatever.
Oh, maybe I can drop the chandelier on her head. Let's see. That might work.
Say,
Aren't you ruby red?
I hit every quota they threw at me. Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, it's
Hey,
it's,
wrong waiting room, buddy. Go wait somewhere else.
I'm sorry?
I need.
man,
You ain't a.
Poor guy.
Wait, I can be here, but I can. Oh my god. Why that bathroom? This is where the generator is, but I don't really want to go there. This is downstairs, right? No, it isn't. This is on the second floor where I was before, right? I really hope so. Okay, let's check it out. Should be right here. Yeah. Waiting lounge in the corner. Yeah. That's good. That's what I was hoping for. Okay.
Find anything yet? No. But
So are we just supposed to let anyone from IT in there?
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Oh, or that guy. Maybe I go do that guy first.
Stand by while I investigate.
to shut down the bank and do a full, but he said no. I guess.
That makes no sense.
Okay, up. He goes there. And what happens if I give this? Where does he go? Hey Arna, welcome. Happy Friday. Almost got caught on the camera again.
Yo, Mr. Bodyguard. What's up?
Why don't you come over here and tell me what's going on?
Last chance! Don't fucking ignore me, pretty boy! Hey!
Whoa! Don't touch me! Ah!
Fuck. Oh, man. My mouse left click is screwed up. I tried to clean it and didn't fix it either. Probably the click itself is an issue. Oh, the micro switch? That's a bummer. That's, yeah. Unless you can solder a new one on, then you're probably fucked. You need a new mouse. That's,
So are we just supposed to let
that's a shame, man.
anyone from IT in there?
That's right.
Say
What?
Say what? 90 million clicks in the
Why would you leave
Yeah,
something
that's an
this behind?
average, right? So yeah. Sometimes you'll okay, sometimes you get 2 million clicks out of them. So yeah, it's a toss-up. But yeah, if it's not that old, then yeah. Do you still have the thing in warranty or no? Oh, maybe I can do it from here. Oh, I need to get the propane tank anyway. Stay there, please. Just Euro as well. Well, if you're in the EU, then you should have warranty. So. There should be 2-year warranty on it. Warranty, but the issue is that sometimes the mouse consistently works and sometimes it doesn't. Oh, that's annoying.
As fast as you can.
Okay, so I have some propane for you, sir. And then the remote micro taser. Just put it right here. And then I'll go get my other outfit, maybe. Do we need to go there? I need to go up. Right.
Chuck, wasn't it? Look, I'm going for a round. Nobody gets in or out of the conference room unless I say so.
It's Charles, Mr. Matt. And yes, Mr. Perez, our head of security.
Let's see.
Keeping an eye out.
Mr. Perez, huh? Yeah, alright. Guess I'll talk to him to make sure we're on the same page.
You do that, Mr. Man.
It's just a job, you know?
No, Wayne. The job is to find and expose irregularities and signs of fraudulent behavior. Expose, not hide. I understand that Athena Savalas pulls
what
a lot
idiot
of weight
would
in
drop
the industry
this?
and the partners are
Let's see where he goes.
We're complicit now.
It's pretty obvious that Savalas and that man character are hiding something. Maybe they even staged the break-in themselves to cover up their tracks. But, like it or not, job right now. Find out what it is.
Uh-huh.
Holy crap!
Okay, cool. Got him. Clean up. Oh, they're leaving. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so I need to get to Lost and Found now. Oh, I should basically change. Oh, that's a bit of a doozy because Lost and Found doesn't like me like this. Or at least that's Frank that doesn't like me. That's different. He doesn't like me, that's okay. Dodge the enforcers.
Sorry I keep bothering you, but I was just wondering.
Because it works fine on our end. Yeah.
Let me see.
I know. I've been there.
Sorry, sir. It still hasn't turned up.
Okay. Yeah, that sucks. Let's see. Oh yeah. Go to the lady here. And she's going to sit right here. Oh, maybe I don't even have to like do that because I could maybe. Can I get it like this? Oh no, I missed her. Frank, asshole.
He's come to the director's office. I
It's
feel
just
like a bit
okay.
woman.
So maybe I can get her from here. Let's see, where is the propane tank? Oh, right over there. That's not ideal though. I could shoot it. There we go. Hey, bozo.
I bet he's seen some action.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of action.
Understood.
Got it. You ordered the HyperX one this time? Oh, nice. My HyperX keyboard from 21 is going pretty well. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm still sticking to my G502 mouse. Before that I had the wired version of this. And before that I had a... I can't remember. I've always had Logitech mice and still functions great for me. My keyboard is a Logitech G15. So this one. And before this I had a Logitech G something, or the one with the little display. I had it for like 15 years or something, maybe more, even 18 years. basically it still works, but my my shift key was all wearing down. How old is this one? This one is like 6 years old by this time. 5 years old? No. That's not true. The wired one was 6 years old before I got the wireless one. So this one is, I think, 2 years old by now. New mechanical keyboards, you can switch out entire modules these days. Yeah, it depends on the model indeed, but you can basically build your own keyboard, put in silent keys or tactile keys or very clicky keys, or yeah, clicky reds and blues, and yeah, so much choice. Fully customizable, but not this one. I don't think I can replace the modules on this this keyboard. Okay. Yeah, the switch themselves. Yeah. I know. Okay, that was fun. Contracts. Let's see, do I have another James Bond puzzle? Oops. Cancel. James Bond's puzzle. Let's see, I did number 1 and 3. So let's do number 2. Where's this? Oh, Sapienza. Enjoy. Oh, it's the scissors thrown weapons. Scissors, explosive device, fall accident. Okay. So, explosive device. Let's go for the shush explosives. I don't know if you can do 2 with 1 stone, but we'll see. Explosive device. Where is it? There we go. And what was the other one? Scissors. I can get those from the church, I think, where they are, so that's not the problem. Smuggled item. Confessional booth. What was I smuggling? I don't even know what I was smuggling. Oh, do I need to be in special outfit? In the suit. Okay. So that means I don't have too many places to start. I can start in the morgue. Then I'm close to the church. Yeah. And my membrane keyboard was about $30 when I bought it. Yeah, my previous Logitech, the one I said, the it's a real classic one. That was also membrane, and like I said, it's still working basically, but the keys were really starting to fade. So yeah, I thought it was time for something new, and I bought a wireless one. Okay. While I'm here, might as well do that. Get the stuff from the confessional booth? No?
Someone I knew. It would be really great if you just left right now.
Oh, I didn't, okay. See, there were some scissors here, right? Yeah. Put the key here. Let's go down there. Just the current badge? No, I'm just picking up, Jamie sent me a one of the James Bond thing, because I already did all the featured contracts, and I liked it, so I'm now just doing the other James Bond puzzle thing. They're all part of the set, so oh, he's over there. Okay. Let's see. Surveillance system has been disabled. Ooh. Can't I just do this and then this? Oh, he will probably be seen because he's not in the water right now. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, see, that's what
Are
I
you
was
okay?
afraid of.
If you can hear me, make a sound.
Thrown weapon, scissors. Well, that could work. Then probably dump him in here, yes. Okay, so that would work out. Where's the priest? Is he still in the confessional? No. It's now over here. Oh, can I maybe lure him up here? No, if there's a dude here. There's dude. Padre, come on. Ah, fuck you. Oh, you saw that? Okay, so I need to then lure him here. Okay, let's try that again. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, because if it's a coin, they do come up. Otherwise, probably not. So, what if I yoink a coin from the church box? Get rid of that. Okay. And then get a coin from here. Oh, I thought there was a coin in there. Oh, that's the other version of the map? Crap. No coins here. Bummer, man. Let's go take care of the... Where is the... Crap. Pom 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 pom. Can I like do this? I found him. Oh wait, I think you can shoot him. Okay. Oh, but he has to be thrown scissors, right? Yeah, okay, so I cannot shoot him. Hmm. Took that dweeb upstairs. What is your problem? You are thrown weapon scissors. Oh, I do have that. Okay. Damn, I wish I had a coin. Oh, there's one outside the church. There's a coin right here. Also not. What? Where did all that stuff go? Am I dead out of... Is that also only on the other side, other version of the map? Okay. Jingles has coins. Give me that.
I think we gotta let this weirdo have some space to... well, act out something.
Let's see if we can get him up there. Okay. Can I throw that up there?
Hey, you can't be here.
This guy's pissing me off. Oh my god, I'm glad to see you. Please, you gotta come and help.
You in trouble, man? What is it?
Saw this guy.
God damn it, there's too many people in this church. Hmm. Let's go fetch the coins first.
Examine body on ice. That's like a 2-hour drive.
That's like a 2-hour drive. Going, going. Thank you. Where's the other one? Are they all? They're all in and around the church. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Nothing I say will bring him back. If I go, am I merely being selfish?
4. Need the scissors. God damn it.
Hey, what the hell are you doing here? You wouldn't...
Okay, let's get you in here. There's Padre over there. Okay. Does he come up here?
Is anybody there?
Nah. Do not change your starting disguise. There he comes. Okay, pull you in here. Okay. Okay, let's go and take care of the camera so that I don't have to worry about that later. I do have the church key. There we go. Up. Okay. Oh, they're standing close together. That's good. Oh, that's those guys. Oh, fuck. That is going to be a problem if I want to kill them with an explosive device. So what is your problem?
Marina
Just
came by the bar
dying?
last night, asking
Oh.
for Roberto.
Still pining over him? Really?
Hey!
Huh. I didn't like the sound of that.
Whoa!
Okay, and that's these two jokers. What am I going to do with you guys? Probably... Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. These are explosive device, so... Why don't you guys come in here, please? So I have... Okay, I have 2 breaching charges, but 1 was enough. Get in here, please. Okay. Subdue. Okay.
Hello? You hurt bad?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, drag him up the stairs then. Whatever. Should I move the body? Yeah, I thought I could get away with it. That I could close the door in time or something, but... But yeah, that's what I get for trying to do that. So I'm gonna... The strat works, so I'm gonna drag him up the stairs and then call in the other one. And then knock him out. Oh, maybe we can just do that right away.
Hey, ever heard of knocking?
Let's do it now. Or maybe, I don't know where they go if I make them sick. This should do.
What the? Command, requesting medevac ASAP. We got a
Yeah,
casualty.
come in. Come in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. There we go. Reaching charge.
Help! Help!
Why did he come in here? Hey, Abe. Since when does he come in here? That is so weird. Okay, I'll do that last. So the dude is, if that dude's doing a round. Happy Friday, man. Okay. Oh, get the coins. I need the coins.
Examine a body on ice. That's like a
Could have sworn there was a coin around here somewhere. But yeah, I guess that's just on the other side of the map. Bop, 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 bop.
Done in a second, okay?
With a megaphone? Stefano Zaluski. Oh no, 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 no. Please do not come in here.
Stay on the alert.
Do you see anything? Why don't you go check it out?
Yes.
Nice. Fuck, where's the scissors? Okay. Mr. Priest is coming up. Padre Francesco. Okay. Okay. What's this then? Oh, overflow sink. Yeah, let's just get out of here. Get over? I can't.
by the bar. Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, wait a minute. Okay. Now these two jokers. Do 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 do. Did I pick up? I didn't pick up a womping thing. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Dumpy 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 dum. Dumpy do 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 do. Bum bum bum. Surprise, motherfucker. Here, have some ass. Okay. Put it right here. There we go. Hi. Target eliminated. What a weird camera angle. Okay. Guess it's because it's a stairwell. They don't know exactly where to place the camera. That's good. Bubba dubba dubba dum. There we go.
Duh. Winning.
Okay, let's see what the cheater boards do. Number 2. Come on, man. Manga. Oh, a minute and a half faster. Okay. Guess he didn't go back and forth as much as I did. Oh well. I'll take it. I'll take it. So if you guys have any contracts you want me to play, feel free to request that. I am on Epic, so I need to be able to play it on Epic. Let's see. James Bond's puzzle. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, so 4. Oh, okay. Mendoza. Fall accident. Any method. Any method in the suit. Okay. Let's see what suit we can pick. Yeah, shall we? What are we getting?
Groovy.
Groovy, the Black Dragon in deluxe. Okay. Oops. Black Dragon in deluxe. There we go. Where are we starting? Yeah, there's not much places for me to start. They're all in the... Here needs to be a fall accident. Other ones doesn't really matter. Okay, I want to see where they are before I do anything.
She's been living alone here for what, 6 years?
Been living alone here for 6 years. Oh, I did bring a sniper. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, that's one, and then where are the other ones? All the way over there. Oh, he's in the security tunnel. Okay. Meditation room.
Looking forward.
Let's start in the shrine. He needs to do a full accident, so maybe. Can I knock people out? No specifications. Okay, then I'm gonna take this. Okay. The universal key, man. Okay.
Damn, I wish my sister would join me. All I'm saying. No one needs them.
Okay. That counts as a fall, right? Yeah, that's gonna say. Okay. And the other one are whatever, right? Yeah. Okay.
Not just a puddle either. We're talking knee deep. The whole place looked like a horror film. Of course, the gates came down. All the Sonic charge of attacks a new one. You'd think there was some kind of fail-safe mechanism or early warning system in place. Yeah, you would, but you'd be wrong. If the pumps malfunction, the tanks overflow. That pretty much sums it up. So.
I wonder if they see that if I kill him over there.
Lightning never strikes
Nope.
twice.
Cool. There's the other one. Oh, he's over there. Oh, but I think... Oh, fuck. Did he see this? He saw that. I was hoping he would be completely hidden by this. Normally he is, but he's... fuck. Okay, let's pretend that went well. Where's the other one? That's the last dude. Where's the other? He's over there. Oh, do I need to go down there anyway? Because of him? Yeah, it's him, so I need to go in here anyway. Oh, but I can get here through here. That's where I pushed the dude over. Yes, yes, okay, so come in, push the dude, go down here, kill him. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. We can do that. Boop, boop. Get my universal key. Okay.
Bullshit. Better just report.
Okay.
Would you mind getting off your ass and checking that out?
Enseguida.
Whoa!
Okay. Cool.
Messing around again.
He sees that. Okay. So maybe... Can I lure him somewhere else? Maybe here? Yeah, and I can't really shoot again because then the whole thing will panic. That's a bit of a thing. Oh, I could bring the propane tank to maybe cause some excitement. Hey, give me that. Is there anything here I can use to throw? Oh, crowbar. Crowbar!
Your grandmother?
That's useful. Okay.
Okay.
Oops. Okay, so hopefully he won't be found. Okay.
Words to the wise, Ace. You might want to keep an eye
They saw that upstairs. Crap, they saw that. Oh man, that's annoying. That's annoying. That's annoying.
That was wonderful. Bravo! I loved that. Oh, it was great. Well, it was pretty good. Well, it wasn't bad. Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good. It could have been a lot better. I didn't really like it. It was pretty terrible. It was bad. It was awful. It was terrible. Get him away! Hey, boo! Boo!
Oops. Okay. Oh, that only takes him away. Okay, cool. Goodbye.
Hey! Hello! Is anyone there? What?
Do me a favor and go check.
You got me.
Why couldn't I push him? What the hell? That's annoying. Annoying. Oh, maybe... No. Yes.
Bullshit. Better just...
So if I shoot over there, only he hears that.
Yeah, we might have a possible situation. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Must be those kids messing around again.
What's happening? Should I be worried?
Okay. Hopefully they don't find that guy. That would be awesome if they don't find him. Okay. Got him.
A word to the wise, Ace. Might want to keep
Okay.
What the hell was that noise?
He's looking the other way. That's good. And I can get out of here. Nice. I could go for the exit over there, but he's closer. I can snipe him from over there. That's I proved that earlier, but yeah. Let's just go this way. Do I have anything else? Yeah. Oh, I didn't need the durian. Oh, there's these two jokers here. Pop. There we go. Nice. Ta-da, ta-da. Ooh. Just walking away through the vineyards. Like nothing happened. Very nice. What time is it? Oh, about an hour left. Very good. Number 1, baby. Oops. Let's see. manga. This is manga. 339 and 319. Just 30 seconds difference. Very nice. Don't know who this is, but yeah, Danny Boy. James Bond did it in 205. Okay. So I could theoretically take a poison for the dude, but yeah, I don't know how much time that would gain me. Okay, let's do the next one maybe. It's a good batch, so game modes, contracts, search, James Bond. Why does it go here? Bond puzzle. Yeah, that's 4, so let's do 5. Number 5 in Bangkok. Just 3 of them. No specifications, no changing suits. Okay. Oh, and it can only start there. Okay, okay. Gonna give him a... Don't need this, so I'm gonna do a proxy taser. Let's do poison. Let's do a poison. Okay, guess there's a crow thing right here. Okay.
That axe-faced harridan demanded more fire extinguishers.
Fuck. God damn it. Okay, maybe I'm better off just throwing it from a little bit of distance there. Oi, back.
That axe-faced harridan demanded more fire extinguishers.
Axe-faced harridan. That's the guru. So if I go here and I throw this over there. Okay. Where's the rest of them?
I think I just saw something. Would you mind checking it out?
Oh, upstairs.
Yes, sir. That's disconcerting.
So I need to get in there, but they won't allow me, so we're going over on this side. Okay. Got some room here to maneuver. Or not. Oh, this is tricky. There isn't another stack well on the other side, right? No. Okay, so... And I cannot change outfits. That's also a bummer. And I've got these two jokers right in front of the door, so I have to get through that door. Crap.
Hey, you! What are you doing wandering around where you're not
get
allowed?
through here.
You brought this on yourself, mister. Aren't you supposed
And
to be
then over here.
What? What's going on?
And then over here.
I think something bad just went down. We don't want trespassers here. I hate trespassers.
I'm on it. Stand here until I come back.
Hey, something bad's going down.
What?
Yeah, okay. Okay. I just need to get rid of... make him look the other way somehow. Yoink. This is a bit more tricky than the other ones, I think, because of the word. Because I can change, and I have to be in a big room where the where they're gonna spot me. So.
Huh?
Oj, back na Bazov. Wait, what? Why are they splitting up? That's not normal. What? Why are they behaving so weird? What are they doing? Oh, I could. Oh, that's also a possibility.
Hey! Can anyone please help me? I need help here.
Got caught on camera. Oh. Wrong side of the balcony. I need to go up here. All's not lost. I can still save this. If I can get into the security room later on. There's no box there. Okay. Shane in the suit.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Put you here. Okay. And then... I've got this asshole over here. Hey, go check it out upstairs, dude.
Stay put. I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Your turn to take a look.
Sure thing. Hey! I'm in trouble. I need help.
God damn it, man! I had the poison out, and he. Why? 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 Okay. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's try that again.
That axe-faced harridan demanded more.
Axe-faced harridan. Okay. This Joker is easy.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What is this?
So what if I just panic the dudes on top of the stairs? See, they're behaving weirdly again.
Huh? What was that? Hey!
Fuck me, man. Why are they going back and forth like not going to their places? What is up with that? I don't like that.
That axe-faced harridan demanded more fire.
Axe-faced harridan. I could probably make the coconuts fall on their heads, but yeah. Oh, they don't hear that.
Oh, I feel so alone.
I feel so alone.
Someone please help me!
Okay, they are there. Woo! Already coming back. Oh, they saw me. God damn it. Oh, maybe. I have an idea. I don't know if I can get away with it, but we'll see. We will see. We will see. Because they're up there, right? Yeah.
Hey!
Sir, please. I found a weapon. Yeah, I found a weapon. It was just lying around. Stay here.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see if that did anything. Okay. But they don't like me still.
Central, come in. This is Papa Bear. Situation is clear. No baddies around here. Over. That's understood. Clear. Out.
I was hoping they would go downstairs.
You go. Yeah.
Get rid of that one.
No way. Help! Help!
Get stuck behind a crate of beer. Really.
Is everything okay?
Okay. This one, yes. Cool. Up.
What? Huh?
Okay.
who's that?
Surprise, motherfucker. Let's put you in the bin. Why can't I just jump over here? I had this sign.
You better start concentrating.
I had the prompt, and he promptly hit him in the face. Oh my god! Sometimes I wonder about this game, man. Oops.
That axe faced Harridan demanded more fire extinguishers.
You gotta.
My boyfriend has a restraining order. I think it might be him. Could you go see if it's him?
Sure. Really messed up.
Oh my god, no way! Someone help! Help!
Oh, they don't care. Okay, let's forget about shooting the ceiling there. That doesn't work. That really doesn't work.
Huh?
Well, maybe it works for somebody better than me, but not for me.
That axe faced Harridan demanded more fire extinguishers.
It's like I throw the taser without being swooshed, but draw a gun, and I also don't understand why 47 has to stand up to fire a gun. That's also annoying.
Probably nothing, but, you know, why don't you just go and check it out? See, the second I step outside, they change their routine. See that? That's so weird. Why do they do that? Did they change something or something? Why are they changing routines the moment you step onto the roof? That is so annoying. Really annoying.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
That axe faced Harridan demanded more fire extinguishers.
Okay.
We should check that pot shop out. Can you go and have a look?
What?
Sorry, there's something happening here. I'll be right back. Where's all now? Okay. I'm back. Let's see, where the hell am I? Oh right, I need to get upstairs. Cancel the camera. Thankfully there's not much people here. Whoa, 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 whoa.
What do you think you're doing? You don't belong.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to go this way. I was found trespassing, but just not enough to make my guns red, so that's good.
Is that... I need help! Someone, I need help right now!
Yeah, dude. Fuck off. Okay.
Really?
Yes, really. They're panicking downstairs, that's good.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Now, let's see. Dude's not here yet, so what if I say over there, please?
Hey, check that out, would you? No problem.
Hopefully he will look over there.
Come on!
See, it said inject, and I pressed the button and he hits him. What the fuck is that?
I think someone is in serious trouble.
Seriously, man. What is your major malfunction?
Some guy is being a nuisance to everyone. We need to stop him.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the game is trolling me. You saw that prompt, right? But if I shoot him, he will be found by the dude that's coming by, I think. So that's a big problem. Oh, I don't want that, please. So maybe I can lure him further in. Luckily, it doesn't take too long to get there, but yeah, this is fucking annoying. Oh, I could go through there. That's probably a little bit faster. Going through the restaurants. Because then I'll come out of there.
Can anyone please help me? I need help here.
Come on. Okay. Upstairs. I notice I can just go right ahead. He doesn't hear that, so...
Huh.
Get in here, get in here. Just to be sure. Just to be on the safe side. Maybe I should have brought some coins. What happens if I do it over there?
Hey, can someone check that out quickly? Okay.
Fuck. Gotta be kidding me, man.
Huh?
Oh, and now I have the security guard over there. Yeah. Go check it out, bozo.
Try not to get in my way.
Thanks.
Say, aren't you Ruby Red?
Okay. Go see what the hell that was, would ya? You got it.
So I'll wait for him to turn around back, not while he is investigating there, and then I'll just run up to him and then pokey-poo him in the back.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. Got nothing.
Forget about it. Who cares anyway?
Very interesting.
There we go. Got him. Can't I just drop down here? Oh, this is the... no. Okay. Makes sense. Trespassing here. Excuse me.
Excuse me. You can't come wandering around in here.
Oh, I am still trespassing here. I thought I would be safe on this floor. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Run! Run! Then don't run. Okay. Gonna give this to this. Yeah, smuggled item. Is this the piano where... no. Nowhere where I even get close, I think. Because I think this is the other piano. It's not the piano where I am. Or that isn't even a piano. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Let's go again.
Harridan demanded more fire extinguishers. Wait a minute.
Do me a favor and see what that's about, would you?
Yeah, it's definitely faster.
So, did you sneak up that exit?
Yeah, see, they're gonna change up.
Oh, shoot! Bloody hell.
Well, they are panicking, so that's not...
Hey, you're armed, right? We need help.
Doesn't really matter. Oh, this way. Okay. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, now this asshole.
Weird.
Oh yeah, follow me in, please. That's even better. Okay. Can I get him to come over here?
Your turn to take a look. Yeah.
Hey, Shrimpy. How's it going today? It's going well. I am doing some James Bond contracts. There we go. So Jamie brought me a James Bond contract that was trending, and it was number 3. So I decided, okay, maybe I can do all of them. And that's what I'm doing now. So they're all by James Bond. Okay.
Hey, you! You got no right.
Why aren't you panicking like you did before? And why can I shoot out the panels in these doors? Are they glass? Here's Johnny. God damn it, man. I really don't want to go back to the stairwell on the main on the top floor, because that's a pain in the ass. Downstairs floor is also a pain in the ass because I'm trespassing there too. So, I was hoping they would panic enough for me to like get away, like they do when I do that first. Because when I shoot from the outside, they're panicking. But when I shoot from the inside, also somewhat panicking. But not enough to not pay attention to me. That's weird. Or is it because they have already been panicked once that they don't really give a shit?
Shit! Oh, God.
See, they don't give a shit now.
Some assistance here.
Well, there's a propane tank here, but yeah. Oh, okay, I'm trespassing on this floor too. Okay. Oops, this way.
Help!
Help, help, help! Yes. Okay. Up there.
Okay.
Over here, dude.
I could murder a burger right now.
Or not.
Huh?
Okay. Whoop. Surprise, surprise. Lethal syringe.
Check that out, would you?
Okay.
Yeah, and I can't pacify people, so I have to make do somehow. Oh, no, go down.
Hey, what's going on here? Who's throwing that?
Okay. Good. Oh, there's coins here. Maybe not go that way. Go back here.
my god.
Someone help me deal with this asshole.
Someone help me deal with this asshole. Okay, we're out. We're out.
Wake up,
Act like you give a shit.
Top of the... yeah.
Yeah. He's real enthusiastic about his job, can't you hear that?
Hey, bud.
Hey. Alright.
Welcome.
Welcome. There we go. Whoa. Got him. Okay, so manga faster again. So, almost 2 minutes. I guess he's not fucking around. How the hell is he doing that so fast? Okay. Doesn't really matter. GG, thank you, Shrimpy. I have time for one more, I think. Yeah, I do. Game modes, contracts, and then search. James Bond puzzle. Go search. Number 6. Wilton Creek. Okay, cool. Any method in the suit. No knockouts. Okay. Security guard, security guard, security guard. Let's go the easy way. Proxy taser, let's take a tools. Remote taser, and let's take in the park bench. Do I have another kind of taser? Micro tasers, yeah. Purple stuff. Bowtie duck. What does this do? Easily traceable in a crowd. Okay, and the influential duck. Emetic gas. Okay. Let's take the oil canister. Let's pick a random suit, shall we? Let's pick a random suit. What are we wearing today? The Banker King of Cards suit in Celebrity. Okay. That's a nice suit. Celebrity. Banker King of Cards suit. There we go. Okay. Oh, Thaddeus is where I start. It's straight to the right of me. So I can probably just shoot him, but then the guy running for office is coming by. So yeah, see, it's him. I knew that. So proxy taser here. Have a go at that.
What? Say what?
Oh, that pacified him. Crap. Okay, so he's too close. He's too close. Or maybe I can fling a muffin. Oh, maybe I go this way. Proxy taser. Here, have a go at that.
What?
Oh, you idiot. It's over there. You picked it up last time, so why wouldn't it be here now, right? Right.
I have to tell you, these are the best muffins I ever had.
Can that woman
I was
move,
supposed to meet a client
please?
for a house showing today, but I can't stop eating. Maybe.
Okay. Go see what the hell that was.
Oh, for sure.
Anyone
Jesus
copy?
Christ.
I think a bomb went off.
Oh, that was a big goddamn bang.
Is he security or no? He is. Otherwise, he wouldn't have a gun. So we can give him a yeah, J Serio. He is proxy taser.
What was that? Not another one.
Huh?
Huh?
You missed the trash can. Now pick it up.
Did everyone else feel that?
I mean, come on, how
He
copy
is he's
All units
okay.
be aware of explosions in the area.
Remote taser. Here, have a go at this. Hi. Okay. Cool. I need to get up there. Do I have anything else? No. Okay.
I swear I have a license.
He's in there. Okay.
Don't bring it with me. You can't just confiscate my property.
You can't just confiscate my property.
Calm down, demolition man. Unless the flesh is eating mutant mold, you don't need explosives. We're gonna keep them safe in our truck. Okay?
Come on.
Fuck.
Dump the hole, and then you blow up. Yes? Look it up like you do. Sir, if the Americans
What? Come on.
Okay. Where's the last one? Oh, by the creek. Okay. Fuck. God damn it. That was not smart. Okay. Remote taser.
Huh? No way.
Oh. Hey! Is anyone there?
No way.
Hey, you. We tried to resolve. Hola, señor.
Is this a nightmare? Command, you're reaping. Over.
Okay.
You're blowing up.
Proxy taser. Here. You have a go at that. Yes. Now we need to get in there. Good, good, good.
a license for. I just don't bring it with me.
I just don't bring it with me. The other one is over there, so maybe get back to this side of the building. We have Janus walking. Okay. Shit. Crap. Just ignore the door randomly opening, please. Move your ass, loser.
Say what?
Okay. Put you in here. Oh, I thought there was a window in here which I could get through. Then we'll just go out here. Good. Oh, he's the one reading.
Yeah, he's been sitting there most of the day. I don't know what he's reading, but it looks like it's the most interesting thing he's ever come across.
Cassandra Snow novel, maybe. Slivers of Past Shimmer. Something like that. See, my wife's reading it now. I can't get her to do anything around the house.
Oh.
No, it's not a novel. I think it's a journal or a diary. He's one of the security people working over at that old Russian guy's house. It's gotta be something from the old man's archive.
Well, tosses it out after we have a look. That's how I get most of my books these days.
I don't have the. Oh. I'll take the exit over here. Get the crowbar from the tracker, from the shovel or whatever. I don't know what the English name is. And then we're out of here. Oh, wrong side. There we go. Very nice. Maybe I can do the last one as well. Still have a bit of time. Still busted by you, my friends. What the hell? 45 seconds. Well, it was my first try, so first try. It's done, it's done. Okay, oh, oops. Contracts, and then look up. No. What the hell am I doing? There we go. If your mouse hovers over anything and it moves like a plank meter, then it selects the other square. Oh, that's the Sheik. Ah. Oh, and it can be anything. He has to be injected poison, so that's the only thing I need to bring. Don't need that. Poison. Lethal syringe. I'm not gonna be the clown. Got in 47. Okay, or maybe not start here. Let's start over here. Then take tools, a lockpick. Purple stick lockpick. Let's go. Do 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 do. Charles Legare, Nicholas Frank, Loyal Fluet.
Huh. Wow. Never knew this stuff was so complicated. What's this one for?
Yeah, that's a fireworks remote.
I wouldn't touch it if I were you. Well, Novikov's expecting to drop the trigger to display.
Okay. Again, I can't pacify. Okay.
Hey! Now what's going on?
Now what's going on? Can I take his outfit? Is that gonna help me? Maybe. Okay. Give me your clothes. Who's the Sheik now? Anything else? No. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Where's the fourth? Down there. Who are you? Oh, you're a dead one? Okay, let's get up there first. The stairs up here. Oh, that's the stairs. I think they are still the Sheik.
What?
I'm the Sheik now. No, no. I am the Sheik. God damn it. It's amazing here, man.
Hope you're enjoying Paris, Sheik Al-Ghazali.
Oh, I'm enjoying myself, alright.
What's her story? No, actually, I read this book about...
Is it the one that's guarding... Oh, right. I know who he is. We've dealt with him in the last batch.
Heard that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not allowed to pacify anybody. God damn it. Oh well. Try and try again until you do win. You're just finding out ways how not to do it.
Wow. Look at this stuff is so complicated. What's this one for?
Yeah, that's a fireworks remote. I wouldn't touch it if I were you. Hey, wait a minute. Wonder what that was.
Oh, maybe I could just drop the thing on him. Okay. Let's go there. What's this? This is a way up, yes. Aha, and I'm right next to this guy.
Your Highness. We are honored to have you here. I will have a
Okay. Oops. There, I'm getting turned around, and then there should be a screwdriver right here. Good. Okay. Bum. Yeah, they shouldn't see that.
All clear, Your Highness.
Bidding has begun.
Oh, you're the injected poison. Seriously? Fuck me, man. Replan. Okay. Smuggled item in the top floor bathroom. And it's going to be a seeker. Crap. That's the same thing that was in the... I think it was in the featured contract as well.
Huh. Wow. Never knew that.
Hey, buddy, I want to leave that alone.
Novikov asked me to fetch it for him.
Fuck. Or maybe I can go through the other side. Is there a camera on that side too?
Huh. Hey, buddy, I want to leave that alone.
Novikov asked me to fetch it for him. He wants to trigger the fireworks himself.
Why can't we go?
Get me out of this!
Oh, you're... okay, that's because I triggered the fireworks. Okay. Thought that might be cool, that they would move it maybe into another spot, but... do not trigger the fireworks. A guy can't have fun here.
Huh. Wow. Never knew this stuff was so complicated. What's this one for?
Yeah, that's the fireworks remote. I'd start this if I were you. Look, Novikov's expecting a heads up.
Okay.
What the hell? Those bloody kids messing around again.
Okay. Let's see. That one was up there. Excuse me, lads. I have to come through.
Welcome, sir.
Get the screwdriver. Really? Yes, really.
Okay.
Okay. Here. Look, look, look. The seeker.
Man, I feel so nauseous. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Al-Ghazali.
No.
There's an article coming up. Coup d'etat in your region. I think you'll find it interesting. Anyway, if you need assistance, don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah, the only assistance I need now is that you fuck off.
Yeah, that's wow, that is pretty
Injected poison. There we go.
So,
This Joker I can just blow up. and that leaves our friend downstairs. Let's go down quickly.
No one on the balcony? Over.
There's security that's here. No one's upstairs.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's insane, right?
That's insane, right? Okay, so let's see, where was the propane tanks again? It was not here, it was this one. Yes. Okay. Now I have to get out. Up and out. Oh. There we go. It's over here. Yes. Look, Daniel, she's nice.
Shit.
That's a weird conversation right there. If you want to have fun, go listen to that one at one time or another, and then that's really a fun conversation. Oh, somebody found the dude upstairs. Okay, that's... do I need this? Yes, I do. Injected poison for that dude. And you can't push him over. Okay, so I know what to do. I didn't expect anybody to go in that attic room there.
Huh. Wow. Never knew this stuff was so complicated. What's this one?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a fireworks.
Marksman right there. That's better. Okay. This.
Hey.
Okay.
What?
Boom boom bum 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 bum. Oh, sorry, dude.
Oh, you must be Your Grace. We have been expecting you. Please step through.
On.
Okay, since somebody apparently passes through here, I'm just gonna put him in this little room over here. Or in that box over there, one of the two. Just gonna leave him here. Okay. Oh, right.
Ah, Your Excellency. There's an item coming up. Oil merger.
A good day to you, sir.
So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The next article for sale.
Jesus! Help me!
Crap! God damn it. God damn it, man! This isn't supposed to be hard.
Huh. Wow.
Boom.
Never knew this stuff was so complicated. What's this one for?
Yeah, that's the fireworks alarm.
Okay.
What? What the hell was that?
That was the sound of your end of your life. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
Your Highness, please come in. We've been expecting.
Huh?
Okay. Get a bit of view. Good. Oh. Doors over here, doofus. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, where's the goddamn bathroom?
Okay. At least the lady isn't talking to me. That's good. Where the hell is she anyway? Over there. She's gonna start a conversation with a loser over there.
Tell me about what Victor did.
There's a lot of skeletons.
Okay.
A young ambitious.
Blow up this dude. There we go. Yeah, it looks like a terrible accident. Go down.
Any other security that's here? One's upstairs.
Okay. Wah, 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 wah.
They're frisking everybody that uses this here.
Get rid of that. Get this. Oh, I need to go that way. Right. Over here. And then over here.
Shit. Still no answer.
What?
No, Decker.
Moving in.
And we're out of here. That should be all of the James Bond contracts.
Shit going on here.
You gotta hand it to Novikov.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
For the dramatic.
There we go. Hey, it's Fizzy. It's Physics. Welcome. Happy Friday. Yeah. It just came in at the end of my stream because now I'm going to... Because I have to start dinner. So, but anyway, welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope your weekend will be even better. Okay. Second again. What is manga doing? That is so much faster. Oh well. I'll take it. That's good. Let's see. You'll catch you on the next one. No, thank you, man. Hey, thanks so much for the follow, man.
Oh yeah, you gotta get swifty.
Let's see if there's somebody playing Hitman.
Here. It's time to get swifty.
Anna is playing Split Fiction. Okay. Channels. Let's find a Hitman player. Hitman World of Assassination. Let's see who's playing. Blauwals. Karls Kaslana. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go say hi to Karls Kaslana.
Did you get first this week too?
They are playing Contract, so let's go say hi. Raid. Oops. Gotta spell it right. There we go. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys for being here. I don't know if I can stream this weekend because I have some stuff to do around the house, so maybe there will be a stream. I'm not promising anything, and otherwise I will be back next Friday. And then yeah, we'll see what we'll do. Maybe I'll do some freelancer if there's not any new contracts I can play, and oh, my raid hasn't, I haven't done this right. Come on. My stuff isn't stuffing. There we go. So yeah, like I said, hopefully next Friday, I will be back Friday for sure, and then maybe this weekend. But yeah. Again, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and we are gonna say hello to Kyle, because I don't know how to do that. I'm butchering the name. Anyway, have fun. See you later. Bye now.